Hello and welcome to another episode of Frightfully Forgotten Horror Movies. Today we wanted to bring to you a movie that I remember way back when as a kid.
We got together just last weekend to rewatch it, to recap it, and
That's right.
guess we kind of figured maybe it's not really a horror movie.
From what we remembered from it,
It was.
it was, but I think it's because like sort of the horror movie parts are so vivid.
Yeah.
I think so.
And the movie cover,
Yeah.
like the cover is very horror movie-ish.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know, I guess it's debatable even what genre this would be. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
It's
it
got-
touches everything. It's 1981 Road Games. It was directed by a guy by the name of Richard Franklin, very inspired by Alfred Hitchcock.
Obviously.
Which, when you watch this movie, you can definitely tell. He actually directed Psycho Part 2. The main character, who Pat Quid, is Stacy Keach. We could never name all of the stuff that Stacy Keach is in.
What hasn't he been in?
Yeah, what hasn't he
Yeah.
been in? I remember him being in a show called Mike Hammer. His co-star is the great screen queen Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep. Pat Quid, played by Stacy Keach. He starts off with him driving his truck, and actually he learned to drive a truck for this movie. He stops in at this hotel. The last room is taken by the same guy who just picked up the hitchhiker he wanted to pick up.
Yeah, like a good-looking girl that he
Yeah.
had his eye on,
The
kind of.
mysterious man in a green van. He's forced to sleep in the cab of his truck.
Yeah, with his dog.
With his dingo.
Yeah,
He wakes up early in the morning and notices that this man is peering out the window of his hotel watching the garbage being picked up. And
Yeah.
he becomes suspicious of this guy. He thinks, why is he watching the garbage being picked up at like 6 in the morning?
right. Plus, his dog is gnawing at the bags, too.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Which is very weird.
Now we do see in the beginning of this movie a murder scene, which is a very cool murder scene. It's shot
Yeah.
amazingly.
Yeah, you
with
could...
great atmosphere.
Yeah.
And great music, too. It's very eerie. It looks amazing. Now, is it the same person? We don't know. And he kind of keeps running into this guy in the green van. At first, he's trailing him for a bit and then passes by him. Then he sees a green van parked away out in the desert.
Yeah.
And he sees the silhouette of this man digging in the desert.
Yeah, like, why would
He
he...
doesn't know why, but he kind of assumes, he has to be burying a dead body.
Right.
You know, he just
Yeah.
makes these assumptions about him.
Yeah,
he
he-
becomes very suspicious of him.
While he's on the road, he plays games in his mind,
Yeah.
too, right? Pat Quid, to pass the time between driving from city to city.
So he has an active
She
imagination.
has a very active imagination.
He starts hearing on the radio about these murders happening and just assumes it's the guy in the green van.
Yeah, it must be him.
And then he picks up Jamie Lee Curtis,
Right, yeah.
who is Hitch.
They end up camping out beside the truck, and wouldn't you know it, the guy in the green van is pretty much right there. And they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
They could have picked anywhere to camp, and this guy could have picked anywhere to park. So while they're driving, something starts to go a little wrong with the truck, and they've got to pull over. Wouldn't you know it, they notice the green van again.
Yeah.
It's just parked there, though. They can't see anybody in the van.
By the washrooms.
Well, he goes in, and he sees
the
2 feet.
Sees the feet there.
Yeah, and he puts 2 and 2 together in his own mind that
Yeah.
must be the guy. And he really starts threatening this guy pretty good. Hitch thinks also that it's the same guy in the stall. She breaks into the van. When she gets into the back, end of the scene right there.
Yeah. Pat
And,
comes out and the van's gone.
The van's gone. He thinks he's going to be a big manly man, and he gets on this bike to try and follow, and he just wipes
out right away.
out.
Which is why I love that part of the movie because it's so realistic.
Yeah.
Like in every other action movie, a guy gets on a motorcycle and just knows how to
Yeah,
ride.
he
He'll
just
take
goes.
off. But no, in this movie, Stacy Keach,
Yeah.
like me or you, would get on a motorcycle with big intentions and wipe out in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and he just kind of flounders and just wipes out, and god damn it.
And that's where the movie really picks up.
He's got to stop at the scales to weigh his shipment. There's a bunch of stuff that's wrapped around Pat's axles in the back. Pat's getting ready to take off. He's like, oh, hold it. You got there's a bunch of wires and shit.
The wires and shit.
This is Australian accent.
One of my favorite scenes is when Quid starts to get suspicious. So he goes in the back of his trailer where all the carcasses of the pigs are hanging.
Right.
And he starts counting them.
Yeah, and he's reading the manifest, how many carcasses he should have, and how many are really there.
And that's a really creepy scene.
It is. Yeah, the atmosphere is very scary.
And again, you don't know if you counted right or if you miscounted.
That's true, yep. That's part of it. The carcasses seem kind of human. So that's another thing that plays on it.
So there's the whole movie is a big question of whether or not Quid is really following a murderer or whether he just is paranoid and thinks he's following a murderer. We'll have to watch the movie to find out.
It is an Australian movie, as we mentioned about this.
Apparently the Australian, because there was of course an Australian crew, gave Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis a really hard time on the set because they were kind of mad that they wouldn't cast Australians in the lead roles of this movie. They had to bring in people from America and from Hollywood. And they didn't like that. They thought that jobs should be given to their own people.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fair enough, you know.
That's right around the time of Road Warrior too, right?
Yeah.
And so things being done in Australia was probably getting pretty hot there. Why can't Australians have the job, right? I can see that.
Speaking of Road Warrior.
Ah, yes. The music was done by, well, now this is funny, Brian May. But
when we watched it, we thought, Brian May from Queen did the music.
Yeah, well, not that happy, I guess, about it. We were like, what? Brian May did the music? It's like, it's not the Brian May from Queen.
A different Brian May.
Yeah, but he still did the music for, like you mentioned, Road Warrior.
Yeah, he did the first two Mad Max movies.
And he also did Dr. Giggles.
Yeah, he did the music for Dr. Giggles. Anyways, Road Games.
Well, it was one of the movies that my mom really liked. I was so young, but one of the most vivid parts of this movie is the end, actually. And it's why I remembered it way later on. It's the very end. It's like the second end. When I wanted to watch it again, because I had remembered, it's like, that movie was pretty cool, but I can't really remember even what the name of it is. Anyways, I had asked my mom. I said, do you remember that movie where the guy's driving the truck and he's just following somebody? And...
Convoy?
Yeah, maybe. But no, not... Once you mentioned the ending, no. Road Games, I think it is. Like, yes, that's what it is right there. That's not what the director wanted for the ending.
No, he wanted a lot less of a shocking ending, I think.
Yeah.
More of a cliffhanger, more of a making you think. Because the ending of this movie is very definitive. You get your answer.
Yeah.
He wanted you to think about, what was really happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very Hitchcocky, very Hitchcock type movie.
Extremely Hitchcock, yeah.
And whether it's horror or not, I don't know. It's kind of adventure, it's suspense, a little bit of comedy. But it's kind of got anything and everything you'd want from a movie in it.
One thing you just said there, it's adventurous. It is an adventure. It's a big adventure from start to finish. It's an adventure on the road.
Road adventure movies. If you like those, if you like Hitchcock.
Murder mystery. There's definitely mystery in this. So definitely check this movie out.
Road Game.